Another night of some crazy stories, right?
Yes.
So, hi guys, it's your host Rebecca for the Reddit Randos, and tonight it's me, Rebecca. And tonight I have with me my hubby and co-host Justin.
Hello.
And we're here tonight with some wonderful or horrific or a little bit of both some stories for you guys tonight. So if you guys are new to this whole podcast, we are here just basically going all over the wonderful world of Reddit and picking out random stories here and there to read to you so you guys can enjoy without having to go through it yourself, because going through Reddit is pretty crazy, let me tell you. I don't recommend anyone going through it because it's a little overwhelming. But they have some crazy stories, and I pick out the crazy ones for you guys to listen to.
The best.
So enjoy this drama that isn't yours, because we're going to get right into it. So tonight we're going to have stories full of entitlement, some crazy narcissistic and just outrageous scenarios that you would never think would happen. Or maybe you have, and it doesn't go well, but
Maybe it's you.
or maybe we're going to tell your story tonight.
It's their story.
Ooh. Okay, so with entitlement comes very closely weddings. And I feel like you find a lot of entitlement, people showing their entitlement or crazy side when it comes to weddings. So we have a couple wedding stories. We'll start with one here. Am I the a-hole for not letting my best friend have her wedding on my property after being uninvited? So this was 4 years ago under wedding property. There's actually that's the person's name. That's the person's name. Wedding property. That's hilarious. It's under Am I the A-hole? And it starts off, one of my 29 male best friends, Carla, 31 female, is getting married soon. It's only meant to be a small backyard type of wedding, but they've been planning it for a few months now, and originally it was supposed to be on my property. They wanted it because it's private, has lots of open space for the reception, and a nice view, and the house could be used for them to get ready and stuff. Of course, I said yes. She and her fiancé, Rick, were very happy. Thing is, Carla and I do have a history. We went out on and off in college, but decided to stay friends. Then I met my wife, we got married, Carla met Rick, and now here we are. Now my wife knows I went out with Carla back in college, and she doesn't care. Carla still went to our wedding and everything. I never knew if Rick was told or not. It's not my relationship, therefore not my business to say anything, so I never did. Rick found out recently, and not in the best way. Not sure how, but from what I heard from friends is that one mutual friend told him, no idea why, we used to date. Not only that, but apparently Carla said a couple of years ago she was still in love with me when she was already dating Rick. Don't have actual confirmation if that's exactly what he was told. All Carla's told me is that Rick was told about our past and he's angry at her for never saying anything. It became quite the drama and didn't hear back from her for over a month until now. She told me they're going to couples counseling and that the wedding is still on, but Rick requested that I not attend. It sucks, but I totally get why he wouldn't be comfortable. Then I asked the obvious question, where are they going to hold the wedding then? To my surprise, she said that they still wanted it at our place. Rick said that too, and in my mind, I'm going, he doesn't want the guy who dated his fiancée years ago at the wedding, but still wants the wedding at his house? My wife and I are expected to just not be at our house that weekend. And I told Carla no. They're going to have to find someplace else since we're not going to simply leave our home to them for the weekend. Not only for safety reasons, but it just doesn't make sense. Rick doesn't want me around because he's not comfortable, but is comfortable enough to have their wedding at my house? They really want their wedding there, though, and because of that, I've been bugged by not only her, but also Rick and some friends who think I'm being a petty a-hole for not letting them have the wedding here anymore. Honestly, don't think that I am. It just doesn't make sense at all to leave our own place for a wedding we're no longer welcome to and leave our home totally vulnerable. Still, being accused of sabotaging their wedding, and Rick believes it's the least I can do after everything. Am I the a-hole?
My house, my rules.
I'm sorry. So you're now upset for not hearing that how many years it's been now, and this guy's moved on and has a wife, and they're clearly platonic friends. You're now not comfortable with him not being there, but you're still comfortable going into his property.
I don't know even... Well, yeah, you said that Rick's the one that was okay with it, too.
Yeah, no. Carla wanted to use their place, and Rick was okay with it, too.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No. If you're going to use their property, the person that owns the property should be there.
Well, I'm just saying, if you don't want someone at the wedding, it still seems weird that you would use something of theirs.
Exactly. It's like if you don't want them at the wedding and they're paying for something for the wedding... So, like, all of a sudden something happens. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't have you at the wedding any longer. But you're, like, that's, like, still expecting them to pay for this thing for the wedding. No, if you're not invited to the wedding any longer, you're no longer obligated to pay for that thing for the wedding that you were providing for them. Because that's just dumb.
Yeah, if you're not going to actually be there, then no. And I'm assuming if they're at that person's property, they're probably not really paying for it.
No, they're not, because it's cheap, it's private, it's in their backyard, and they're going to be using their house. So being in their house, in their stuff...
Yeah, you can't be at my house.
What if there's something happens? There's a liability. What if someone gets hurt?
Doesn't matter if something happens. It's not your house. So
no. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if the owners aren't there and something happens, that's horrible. Like... So either way, they're basically going to get blamed for not being able to use their place, and then they're going to get blamed for still forcing themselves to go to the wedding if they're going to still have the place, if they're still going to have, like, want to be on their property. So either way, I don't know. I think these people are just, like I said,
dump those friends.
They're pretty entitled for thinking, oh, they're still going to let me use their property even though we don't want them at the wedding.
All the Carlas I've known have been mean.
Oh, did you say all the Carlas you know have been mean?
Actually, no. There's only one I know that's been nice.
I was going to say, I was like, you can't put this on all Carlas. There are nice Carlas out there. What if there's Carlas listening to this right now?
Please send us a message.
What?
Let us know.
Let us know if you're not an a-hole, Carla. No, I'm kidding.
I've known quite a few Carlas.
Okay. So top comment was, Rick doesn't want to get married anymore, but doesn't want to be the bad guy breaking up with his fiancée. So he puts her in an impossible position so he can get the sympathy when they split. Not the a-hole. That's just someone's conclusion of why this is happening. Why Rick's even going along with still using their property.
Yeah, Rick's weird. Rick's weird. We'll just go with that. That doesn't make any sense.
It just doesn't make any sense that he wouldn't be comfortable with the guy being there, but still being okay using that guy, that same guy he doesn't want there, using his property, in his house, in his land, and that's just weird.
Yeah, unless he's planning on messing it up. And that's different.
See, no.
A little revenge right there.
No, I'm glad that OP is sticking to he's standing firm and saying, no, you'll have to find a different place if we're uninvited. Because obviously, now that I know there's a little bit of, beef, I am definitely not going to let you just use my place.
Or what he does is he lets them come, but he doesn't say yes or no. Or what he says is they can come. And then, but he doesn't give us consent through a text message or anything like that. And then when they come, then he calls the police for trespassing. Mm. And then their wedding day will never be forgettable.
Nah, I just say you got to use another place. And they might have to push back the wedding now because they were using a proper...
No one cares about their wedding.
Well, that's the thing. I don't even think this wedding's going to work. If this guy is now upset for being told that she was in a relationship with this guy that obviously is not in a relationship or anywhere near like wanting to be with them. So I don't know. Yeah, I honestly think
no one cares for RNC. Freaking Carla.
Yeah. Second comment down was that fits with thinking OP should let him use his house for free and be elsewhere because it's the least he can do for having committed the sin of having dated this guy's fiance before he had ever met her.
So he dated her, didn't sleep with her.
Well, they dated on and off, so maybe they did. I mean, and even if they did, it's done and over with. Okay. Let's go to the next one.
Tell you.
Next one. Goodness. The next one, we're going to go into just something crazy. So next one is from Best of Reddit Update. Originally, looks like it was in, I think, relationships. That's a category, I think. Anyways, this is from 2017 originally. So just a little bit ago. It is titled, I don't think I'm going to say the full title. I'm going to just do part of it. Dad sent me, 15 female, to boarding school at a young age. Now he's upset that I don't like to spend more time with him and his family during the summers.
Oh.
Okay. So it goes to... Okay, so I've been attending boarding school since I was 10. I started the 5th grade at my boarding school. The reason why I started going so early is that my dad remarried. My mother, and this is trigger warning for certain events of suicide, child neglect, child abandonment. I should probably put those in there. Sorry. Okay. The reason why I started going so early is that my dad remarried, and in brackets, it's my mother killed herself when I was a baby, and he remarried to my stepmom when I was 9. When she got pregnant with my brother, she insisted that I be sent to boarding school so that they could start afresh. I use quotes because I used to hear them talking about it when I was still living there. I actually heard the discussions they'd have at night about it when they thought I was sleeping. She said a lot of hurtful things then, and about me potentially being like my mother and potentially being a bad influence on their future children. But I guess she's convinced him because he gave in, and they sent me right away. So I went to boarding school. They had my brother and then my sister, and I only see them in the summers and some holidays. In fact, a lot of holidays I spent with my friends' families, which my father had always signed off on. This especially confuses me considering his change of heart this summer. I mean, I spent the last 4 Thanksgiving holidays in other people's houses without comment. At first, I was extremely depressed. I was really attached to my father as a kid, and it took me a long time to deal with me being sent away. Especially when my siblings were born, I felt a lot of betrayal and resentment. But then, I grew to deal with it. What really helped, and still helps, is that I have a wonderful group of friends at school, and the adults there are really supportive there. My closest 2 friends have been there since I've been there. I feel like they're my family. Also, a lot of the kids I go to school with deal with what I'm dealing with in some form or the other, and this has given me a lot of perspective. Additionally, I am really grateful for this and understand that in a lot of ways I've been given an amazing opportunity and have nothing to complain about in this respect. I go to the really nice school. I love the grounds, I love my classes, I love the extracurriculars, I love my teachers, and I love my friends. The picture people paint of boarding school isn't the one that I experience. It's pretty easy for me to say that I prefer being at school 100 times more than I prefer being at my father and stepmom's home. When I'm in their home, I feel like an outsider. They do their thing and I do mine. It's especially awful though because I still get the sense that my stepmother doesn't want me around when I'm here. She barely acknowledges me, and I know she influences my brother and sister not to interact with me. I know because I took them to a theme park 2 weeks back, and they told me this after a full day of having fun with each other. So, And as much as I appreciate that I get to have the experiences I do at school, I can't seem to distance myself from my distaste of my father and stepmom. So in order to avoid being disrespectful or coming off as rude, I just try to minimize the time I spend with them when I'm in their home for the summer. I don't have any friends here, so this means I go on hikes, go on runs, go to the movies, whatever I can just to be active or out and about without getting into trouble. Which brings me to the problem. My father kind of blindsided me yesterday. He sat down with me while I was eating breakfast, which never happens, before going on a hike, and he told me he's concerned that I haven't wanted to spend time with the family. I was confused because I haven't ever perceived this need from him, nor at any space for it. He works all year round and all day. My stepmother is always ferrying my brother and sister to do something or off with her friends. I just didn't even think that they wanted that. He then said that he wants to keep me here for my final 2 years of high school and enroll me in the nearby private school so that I can be with the family. And I just panicked. I get stellar grades and I'm doing well at school. Every report he's gotten has been good. I expressed this to him. But I was so distraught at the idea of not going back that this insisted my distress was an indication of how unattached from the family I was. I know I could have handled it better, but I blew up at him after he said this. I told him he was the reason I wasn't attached to the family, and that removing me from school would only remove me from the one place I had any real family. This really made him angry, and he left saying he was resolved to remove me. I don't know what to do. How can I convince him to let me go back? I feel like I'm a kid again. It's the same feeling all over again, and I'm so angry.
Well, I mean, she's not wrong. I mean,
it was his fault for making her distant from the family.
Yes and no. But I mean, it's not wrong that she feels that way because, yeah, I could see why she does. But she does need to talk to her dad and open up and talk to him.
I'm surprised.
So, I mean...
It's the stepmom. The mom sounds like an evil stepmom.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
She's like the one that, like, I don't like this girl. I don't want her to be in this family. We need to ship her off to boarding school.
But she does need to talk to her dad. Because when he says it feels like you don't want to be part of this family, she doesn't want to be, which I can understand. But the answer isn't, no, that's not true. It's, yes, I don't want to be. Let me tell you why. And here's this. And
she'll need to recollect herself and really come up with some, like, just a good conversation to talk to him and really lay out her concerns and reasonings. And she's only got 2 years left. She might as well finish them there.
Well, yeah, I mean...
She's been there since she was 15. Oh, no, sorry. She's been there since she was 9?
10, I think.
Yeah, no. Let's see. They got married when she was 9, so... Yeah, they shipped... It was probably 9 or 10. Probably 10, like you said, that she stood... So she's been going there since being 10. She's been there for 5 years.
Yeah.
She's only got 2 more years.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean...
Why start new with a whole new school, new people around everything, when you could just finish the last 2 years with this same scenario, and then after that, figure out what you want to do?
No, because her dad already knows what she's going to do, which she's going to leave him.
Yeah, well, then they need to sit down and be like, hey, let's plan some things for the summer that we do things together, or, I don't know. But yeah, he does see it, but now it's becoming a problem to him. It's a concern to him now that she's distancing. This has to do everything with his wife.
Well, time's probably gone faster than he thought, and now he knows he's only got 2 years, and then after that, he doesn't have control over her.
Well, it doesn't help that he works all the time, and yeah, no.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that's probably what's happening.
No, it is. That's exactly what's happening. And he needs, like, if he really wants this, the OP needs to talk to her dad and really sit down and lay out your concerns and be like, hey, I know I blew up. I'm sorry. But this is really important for me to finish out at this school. And then really lay out your concerns. If the dad is like trying to open up, I'm guessing he doesn't have a good relationship anymore in these last 5 years with his daughter. Well, he's having a hard time expressing it, and now this is his way of expressing his concern.
Doesn't matter. He's the adult. So
exactly, he's the adult. He can't say no to his stepwife to ship her off.
Well, she doesn't need to be in for that conversation, I'd say. I'd say he needs to have a conversation with his daughter. Stepwife doesn't like him. Doesn't like her already. Probably was instigated to ship her off. And now that her dad decided not to talk to her about it really, or anything from what it seems like. This needs to be a conversation between her and her dad. Especially if stepmom's saying that she's a bad influence and don't want the kids around. And she don't really care, which if that's the case,
this is why
then it still
I'm
needs
confused.
to be just a conversation between between the dad and the daughter.
I'm so confused at such a young age, and then rightfully, like right after he gets married, that he was so easily like agreed to send her away. That's what makes me confused on how is it that easy to just be like, okay, we'll send her away for the whole year and then have her back for the summers. Like, I don't know.
Because he was probably working all the time, so he wasn't seeing her a lot anyway, so it wasn't really affecting
No,
him.
and I'm wondering if the stepmom just fabricated a bunch of things saying that, this is what's happening, and I don't know. Stepmom from the beginning, I don't know how the dad just agreed with her to do that stuff. Like, yeah, that's your own daughter. That's your own flesh and blood that you just send away without literally questioning if this was the right thing or not. So, and now you're being concerned after 5 years.
Well, time's almost gone.
No, it's too late for that, buddy. Okay, so Revelit comments. Someone posted, I suspect that once your stepmother learns what your father has said, that she will convince him to change his mind. Someone underneath that said, the stepmother might actually be a good last resort strategy here. If you try the letter writing or having a friend's parent or teacher talk to your father, and he doesn't change his mind, then you got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose in trying to enlist your stepmother to convince him. For her own selfish reasons, it sounds like she would agree that you should go back to this school, and she is probably the person most likely to influence your father. And OP had responded, oh goodness, I really hope so. So, I mean, that is true. If the stepmother doesn't know about this, which I have a feeling she doesn't, she could just be like, hey, dad wants to have me stay here, and let her freak out. I mean, for someone who is like, I'm sorry, I just feel like the stepmom is so mean and just cruel. If you're really like really wanting to escape having to be close to your family, then you should just talk to the stepmom and she can take care of it for you. So.
It's true, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Someone had said, you need to be honest with him. He'll be shocked and deny it, but if you're honest, he'll understand. You need to tell him that you heard when you were 10, the reason you were shipped to boarding school is that so that his family could start afresh. At the time, you resented it, being displaced, but you found what you were missing at home, acceptance. You are now thriving at school with friends who willingly and wanting you to have you over for Thanksgiving. You don't feel the same at his house. You feel like an intruder, not a true member of the family. Even your brother and sister admitted that your stepmother instructed them to treat you this way. Then you drop the truth bombshell. You will always resent him for picking his new family over you, but you will resent him even more if he displaces you from the only place where you felt welcome. This conversation will not be easy, so feel free to write it as a letter instead. You are 15. You don't get to call the shots, but you are old enough to demand your opinions to be heard. Your father is an absentee parent. He needs to learn the truth. And OP responded, I really like the idea of writing a letter. I'm going to clear my head and get started on writing it so I can deliver it to him as soon as possible. I really appreciate the feedback. Thanks. So we do have, let's see. Oh, someone has We have something when asked if the reason the father wants OP closer to home at a local school is it for financial reason. They said, OP responded, I'm not sure. It doesn't appear as if there are any money problems. I know that my tuition is very expensive, but based off the family's lifestyle, it seems like nothing. I don't know if I'm being naive with this assumption, though. I don't want to be too detailed for the sake of anonymity, but I know he works in a field and for a company that makes a lot of people consider problematic amounts of money. I don't know if anything has changed for him. It was never a thing he's discussed with me, and I've never asked him about his money. Well, yeah, I mean, if she's never with the family and she's been gone since she was 10.
Well, you shouldn't. You're a kid, so.
No, exactly. Like, yeah, no, she doesn't know her family, so why would she know what what the father makes or does?
She shouldn't know what he makes. It's not her place.
Exactly. So, okay, update 1 posted same day from the same post. It's been silent since the first few responses because I wanted to process all the suggestions coming my way. First, thank you so much for your concern and kindness. It really helped me sit down and think more calmly about this situation. Second, I decided to write an email to my father in which I apologized for my outbursts, expressed my understanding that we should develop a better relationship, and my want for one as well. I don't know if I really want this, to be honest, but based on feedback, it seems smart to include this. And my belief that pulling me out of my school would not result in that goal. I offered alternatives like FaceTiming regularly and more consistent visits during the holidays like Thanksgiving. I also suggested that maybe we should do something together during the holidays so that we could talk and catch up. We used to hike a lot together when I was a kid, and I suggested that we go on one together like this weekend. I also explained that I feel I've been a responsible and productive student at the boarding school, pointed out that I am head of the diversity club, have provided peer tutoring each year since 8th grade, and have maintained a good GPA, and that disrupting my school might be counterproductive. I explained that my outburst was due to these details rather than my not wanting to be closer to him. I closed out saying, I know he wants what's best for me. I hope this is true, and I'll choose to believe it. And I want to work with him to make that happen. So now I'm waiting for his reply. I'm pretty anxious because I honestly don't know how he'll reply. I'm taking advice given to me here, though, and trying to make plans in my mind for any response. I haven't told any of my friends yet because I know they'll tell their parents who may contact him, and I can't be sure how he'll react to that. If he refuses after my email, maybe I'll try to have an adult intervene. I'm still thinking it through. Anyway, thank you guys again. It's nice to know that there are nice people all over. Okay, update 2 posted the same day later on. He responded, he responded with OP's name. When we spoke, I told you I had made my decision. That stance has not changed, and I am disappointed that you have not chosen to ignore my words. Do not forget that you are still a child under my care, despite what you feel. One day you will see the wisdom in this and be thankful. Sorry. I am currently on my way out on business and will be back on Saturday. Oh, great. So he just drops this bomb on her and then just leaves. Surprise, surprise. Until I return and am able to speak in person, I do not want to hear or read another word about this issue. I want to contact my... Oh, and that was it for the email, for his response. She goes on to say, I want to contact my headmaster and dorm parent. I have good relationships with them, but now I'm really feeling if they contact him that will be the end of it. I think I messed this up. I shouldn't have sent that email. I should have waited. I don't know.
Just talk face to face.
My friends' parents are all pretty influential, well known in my dad and stepmom's social circle, and I'm worried it will humiliate my dad, stepmom, if they find out about the issue or try to intervene. I just feel so paralyzed. So update 3 posted the next day. She posted, I'm going back to school. A lot has happened in a short period of time. I don't think I dealt with my father's email in the smartest way, but it worked. Advice telling me to speak to my stepmom really stuck with me. I felt so desperate that I spoke to my stepmom about the situation. It became very obvious very quickly that she had no clue that my father had wanted this. She immediately left the room after I explained the situation. I could hear her arguing with him, saying it was a deal breaker and that she wouldn't have it, which is just so ridiculous. But okay, it's working for the time being in her benefit. He called me soon after she hung up and sounded so very angry. He said it was clear I had made up my mind and didn't want to be a part of the family. He said that he wanted time to let my stepmother know and wishes I had trusted him. I didn't even know how to start explaining why I feel his view of my feelings are so wrong, but he told me that since I didn't even want to try working with him, he's sending me back. He ended the call saying, I hope you can deal with the consequences of your choices. I'm so angry at him because I feel like so much of this is miscommunication on his part. But I'm happy more than anything because I get to go back. Thank goodness. I'm going to lay low, be as nice to everyone as possible, and try to ride this out until school starts, which is soon. I'm so relieved. Oh, so that was crazy. But, I mean, it did work. They were all saying from the beginning, like, hey, if you...
It means you got what you wanted.
You need to go talk to stepmom, because I don't think she's going to agree with this. And she didn't. I just think this mom does not like the OP. Like, whatever made her not like her, it's got to be about the mom. Because she thinks it's because of her mom and how she ended her life, and that she thinks she was going to end up in the same situation. And so before she even gets to know this child, she's just like, oh, we need to ship her off. She's going to be a bad influence before we have another kid.
I doubt that. It's probably she just doesn't want to have another kid that's not hers.
And that's ridiculous. I don't get that, how people could date like widows or single parents and want to be with them, and then when they start their own, like they start like having their own kids in the family, they like don't want to include the child that was there before them at all. It's just ridiculous how that works. And I feel horrible for those children because, like, and how can the single parent, how can they go on without thinking, this isn't right? You shouldn't treat my child this way.
Because they're weak.
Like this dad?
Yeah.
So weak. And here he is trying to be like, oh, I'm going to do the right thing now. After 5 years, I'm going to do the right thing. And yet he still backed down when his wife said, this is a deal breaker if you have her come back. And he gave in again. Mm-hmm. So he'd rather lose his daughter than his wife, his second wife, because I don't even know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what's going to make it better, but whatever. So, OP, I'm happy that you were able to finish your schooling. And hopefully you have some great friends, like you said, that are your true family. And maybe your dad and you can reconcile in the future. But, yeah, I just think you're better off how you're doing right now. You don't want to be a part of this family, and honestly, I don't blame you. The family didn't want to treat you as family.
Yeah,
it's awful when friends treat you more as family than your actual family.
I think she knows that, and she's just counting the years until she's gone.
Right, like she said, she's like, well, I did go back to the summers. At least she didn't like ever refuse to go back during the summers. She did. She just tried to stay low and do her own thing. And no one ever stopped her. So for some reason with Dad, I don't know if something like he's had people around him that they've done things with their own kids that's making him feel guilty. That's what I think it is. Something came across him in his life that has made him feel guilty all of a sudden. And for some reason, his solution was to bring you back and have you change your whole lifestyle just to make him feel better. And I feel like he did it for selfish reasons, that he wanted to do this. So, obviously, I don't think having even more kids has helped him become a better parent, because I feel like it was...
Well, he doesn't see them either.
No, he doesn't. He's an absent father because he's constantly working. And Mom takes care of everything. And Mom just doesn't like the first child. So, I don't know. That's just ridiculous how that works. So... bad situation, but OP, you made the best out of it. So good for you. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. The next one we have here is also from Best of Reddit updates from 2 years ago. It is originally from True Off My Chest. And it is titled, I fell in love with my married neighbor, and then I babysat his kids. Now I'm questioning my feelings.
Okay.
Right? A lot of those things don't go together. Okay, so this happened back in 2023 of February. Okay, so first of all, I'm new to Reddit, so sorry if there are any mistakes or something. I obviously can't talk about this with any of my friends or my mom, but then I saw a Reddit post on TikTok and I thought this would be a good place to talk about this. I'm also going to post this in a couple of different places based on what came up with when I Googled best Reddits to post on for advice. So they also posted this on Two Hot Takes, and I love that because that's the host on there is Morgan, and she's got a good community there. So, okay, so finally, I know you are all going to judge me, but at least try to understand my side. Thanks. So, I'm a 34-year-old woman, and 7 months ago, I had a messy breakup with my long-term boyfriend.
With one?
So I moved in with my best friend and her husband in a house we were all renting together. It was then that I met my neighbor, who I will call Kay. He helped us move our stuff into the house, and I was instantly smitten. We live in the suburbs of a major city, so we both ended up taking the train into work at the same time each day. I knew Kay had a wife and kids very early on. He talked about them often and pictures of them on his lock screen, social media, etc. However, initially it started out as a very innocent, silly crush. He is handsome and funny and sweet. The first time we rode the train, he asked me about my job and seemed genuinely interested in what I was saying, which is something my ex never did and is something we fought over a lot. He is always doing things for his kids, like bringing home treats and stuff for them and staying on the phone with his older daughter the entire ride to work because she needed a pep talk before a school presentation. It was just so easy to imagine how lovely and attentive Kay would be with me because he is like that with everyone else. Kay has never said or done anything to imply that he has feelings for me yet. But we are genuinely friends by now because we talk on the train, which is about a 20-minute ride almost every weekday. I never had trouble getting the attention of men, and with this basis we have already, I know that we could easily become something more. Delulu. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna get him.
She's like, I obviously get the attention of men so easily. So with this already known fact, I know we're gonna become together as a couple here soon. Like, this is I can't believe she's actually typing this out and not stopping. I also learned shortly after I developed feelings for him that his wife is someone I went to school with, and I was surprised because they are polar opposites. He is funny, she is dry. He is exciting, she is cautious. He is a little dumb, and she is very smart intellectually, which is like, whatever. Looks-wise, this feels mean, but yikes. I just don't think that their personalities fit very well together at all, and I can easily see Kay getting stuck in a relationship because he's just so nice. The issue is that yesterday evening, Kay knocked on my door and asked if I could watch his kids for a bit. This was, of course, no trouble, and I said yes right away. He told me that his wife had gotten into a car accident while away on a business trip, and because she is pregnant, he was super worried and had booked the next flight out to go see her. They don't have any family in the state currently, so he asked me to keep an eye on them for a few hours while a family friend drove several hours to watch them at night. Now this is where the issue came in. These kids were an absolute nightmare. There were 3 girls, and the oldest was your typical bratty preteen times 1,000. She was rude and didn't respect my authority at all, arguing with me about everything from dinner to who had to clean up to what movies she was allowed to watch. I even heard her call me a B word under her breath a couple of times. The middle was rowdy and constantly wanted to play loud, messy games, even when I told her no. The youngest was mostly sweet and quiet on her own, but she joined in with whatever drama the middle one wanted to create.
You sure you want to be with Kay?
Here we go. It accumulated in me agreeing to play hide and seek with the younger two and ended up getting locked out of the house.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to win the game.
That's hilarious. Oh, my word. I feel like this is like a sitcom or something like you would find in a comedy show. Okay, when I went back and tried to convince the oldest to let me in through the back screen door, she pretended she couldn't hear me and put her headphones in. Thankfully, the family friend arrived a few minutes later and let me in, and then I went home. This makes me sad because before now, I would often dream about being a stepmom to Kay's kids one day because of how highly he would talk about them. Now, I want nothing to do with them, but at the same time, this is further proof that Kay and his wife are not happy because children from a happy home do not behave like this.
She would know.
You're right. The more she talks, the more delusional this gets. Oh, my word.
I get whatever I want. I'm from a happy home.
This just proves that the wife is a terrible mother. Kay doesn't want to be with someone like that.
Told you she's too smart.
Oh, my word. Okay, I just want to have a relationship with Kay, but I do not know if it is possible because his kids and I would not get along. This is even before a potential divorce where their mother could easily get them to hate me. I really love Kay, and I know that we could have a beautiful relationship if I pursued this, but this has really shaken me. I just wish I had someone to talk to about this, but everyone in my life would judge me. And for good reason, girl. 'Cause you are straight up delusional. Okay, so there's some comment exchanges. Okay, so I want to put down, honestly, it doesn't sound like you love him. You have romanticized him and have this fantasy life in your head. In your head, you act like he would drop his wife and run away with you. You justify this belief by saying that his children are wild, so it must be an unhappy home. Meanwhile, you completely ignore the fact that his wife is pregnant and he dropped everything to go to her. You say the kids do not respect your authority. It sounds like they barely know you and suddenly you're in charge. You're not their mother and will never be their mother. You think that you will have a beautiful relationship with Kay if you pursued him? No, you wouldn't. He has a family that he clearly loves. Just because he is nice to you doesn't mean he wants you. I encourage you to discuss things with a professional because this isn't healthy. OP responded, this is great.
How dare you?
How do you know whether or not I love him?
You don't know about me.
You don't know me? Are you inside my head? You can love someone before being in a relationship with them. And just like I don't know for sure that he loves me, you don't know that he doesn't. You never know until you cross that bridge. I know he wouldn't just drop everything and run away with me. There would be months and even years of divorce court, custody arrangement, etc. She has put a lot of thought into this. My goodness. If he decided to leave his wife, and before the comments come in, yes, I know there's no guarantee that he will do that, but Kay is a good, honest man.
Which is why you wouldn't do
If anything were to happen between us, he would absolutely leave his wife because it wouldn't be fair to either of us. And he told me he believes very strongly in fairness. That's why I'm asking. I know this could be a messy situation if anything happened. I just want to know if his kids being difficult will make things worse if it does happen. I want to know if the potential pros outweigh the potential cons. Like, oh my word, she's literally already thought in her brain that this is going to happen no matter what. But the kids are that's the problem here. Like, is it going to be a problem with our relationship if we carry on and his kids don't like me? Honey,
maybe.
You are like 5 million steps ahead of this man who doesn't even know you have feelings for him.
maybe he's not a good dad.
I don't know.
Saying, maybe he's not. Maybe he doesn't discipline the kids. That's why they act the way they do. And why mom's always grumpy.
Could be. There could be a lot going on in that relationship. Marriage is not perfect, and we both, people bicker all the time with each other, but they still love each other, and it doesn't mean that just because they bicker here and there or they get grumpy, doesn't mean that they're going to leave someone at the drop of a hat. So, here's an update. Let's see. First one was from February 7th. So a day later, February 8th, 2023, there is a update, but it did fall into the archive because it's a transcription of a screenshot. So this is a text screenshot. This is a text screenshot of them talking. The update is coming from Kay. Blank and the girls are okay. So I don't know if Blank is the mom or someone else, but Blank and the girls are okay. Thank you for watching the girls. OP said, of course, anytime, smiley face. Let me know if there's anything else I can do. K does a thumbs up emoji. Then K sends the link of the Reddit post of OP's. Oh. So then he says, is this you?
No, it's not.
And then Kay sends another text. Because if it is, we need to talk.
Yeah, he's like, there's something on.
I promise you that I have absolutely no interest in leaving my family for you. I'm sorry if I ever gave you the wrong idea, but I don't see you as anything more than a neighbor. I don't think we should be friends anymore.
But I get whatever I want.
Wait, so OP puts, wait. And then she says, can I call you? And that was the end.
And it's probably good.
I just think that's hilarious. I love these stories when the person they talk about, like any person that's in the story, finds the Reddit post. And then they get into it because then they'll either call out saying like, this isn't true. Let me tell you the real truth behind this story. Or like in this case, I feel like this is so funny that he found her Reddit post. And though she didn't put any names, there's enough details on there. He knew it was them. So that's hilarious. And someone like, I think someone put that like, this is the best of Reddit updates I've ever read. So yeah, that is like a great, this person. Oh yeah, there was like a mood spoiler in the beginning that I wasn't going to put down, but they said, the mood spoiler was good for neighbor. It ends up good for the neighbor.
He saved himself.
He did. Oh my word. Like that's crazy. Okay. We got a couple more really quick. There's one here. I found a new subreddit that I honestly have heard enough stories from that I think I'm just going to start looking into. But it's the subreddit of r/nice guys. So the whole point of this subreddit is basically, here we go. Nice guys is others while simultaneously, I cannot say that word, simultaneously, there we go, while simultaneously expressing a favorable view of themselves. This is a lighthearted subreddit for funny, cringy images, not a subreddit for showcasing general acts of misogyny or for debating gender roles. Please. So it's just like, these are just cringy things that guys that think they're the nice guys, they'll start saying things and they can't really go back on. So this one is called, he pretty much he put it on there saying, I am more generous than the giving tree. So it's a bunch of text from this girl. So he starts with, this is the girl who posted this. So the girl of this guy had posted this. So the guy puts down, he says, what's up? And she goes, not much, a little housework before bed. And he says, any weekend plans? And she says, I'll probably just stay in. I think I'm coming down with a bit of a cold. He says, aw, that's too bad. I had car show tickets. I hoped you'd want to go. And she's like, yeah, that's totally too bad. Count me in next time, though. And he's like, okay, cool. If you can't go out this weekend, I could come over and give you a massage. And she texts saying, I just want to be upfront with you, and I'm sorry if I'm misreading the vibe. I just want to be clear, I'm only looking to be friends. I've had a lot going on in my personal life, and it's just not a good time for me to get into a new relationship.
No massages.
But I'm looking forward to hanging out as friends. You're super cool. And he goes, oh, it's fine. I get it. The nicer you are to a woman, the worse she treats you. It's okay. It's not just you. Like, dude. So then all of a sudden he puts a question mark. And then OP, who posted this, puts a question mark. And then he puts another question mark. And he's like, whenever I take time to actually get to know a woman and I'm vulnerable, she just doesn't want anything to do with me. I'm the giving tree. I give and I give until there's nothing left. And then the takers move on. I wasn't asking much, you know. I don't know anymore. Never mind. Don't respond. He's saying too much.
Right, baby.
And she says, whoa, I don't even know what you're talking about. I said I'd go to the show and I wanted to be friends. I'm just not looking for a romantic relationship. It's not anything to do with you. And he's like, not anything to do with me? Sure, never is. I get it. Why would I want to go with you if you aren't looking for a relationship? I never said I wanted a relationship, by the way. Just something out of it for me. Oh my word. And then he's like, but that's too much to ask. I get it. I'm just not the type who perpetually gives and shouldn't expect anything back. Don't worry about my feelings.
Okay.
And then he goes on, hello? And then he goes, when you realize how bad you effed up, don't bother trying back. And then he put hashtag blocked. And then he did a peace sign emoji. Like, you can tell the more silent you get without responding, the more they'll respond, the more they'll just put themselves in a hole. They're just digging themselves more into a hole. And then they just become that, okay, that was a weird situation, to a, okay, I don't think we should even be friends anymore. So, yep, someone, top comment for that was, just something out of it for me. My nice guys tokens didn't result in sex. What the frick? Someone put, also the absolutely last thing you would want when feeling under the weather, feverish, is a massage. He inviting himself to her house was creepy enough for me. He could just offer to order chicken soup for her or something, but nah, too much for him to care about her well-being. Oh, so you will be in bed all weekend feeling like crap? That's hot. Let me come over and make you uncomfortable until you agree with me.
You're weak.
Oh, yeah, right?
I'll come over.
Any weekend plans? No, I'm thinking about cold. Oh, I should come over and give you a massage. And they aren't even that close yet. So for him to, like, give out that, like, vibe really quick, and that's why she's like, oh, I think we're just better off. That's, like, always awkward when a girl has to go there. Or even a guy. When a guy or girl has to go there to the point where it's like, okay, I didn't know we were like that, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut this down right now and just say we're friends. And I know people get, like, really pride hurt when they get friend zoned. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it. It doesn't feel the best, especially if you feel like you have this, like, really big crush on this person, but don't be ridiculous after that. Don't make yourself look like a weird person.
Too late.
Did this guy too late. So I'm definitely going to find more stories on this subreddit because I think it's hilarious. There's a one for nice girls too. So don't worry. It's not just bashing guys. I'll do the bashing on girls because there's some crazy girls out there too. Okay. Last story is our last wedding one. This is the crazy wedding one. So it is from the subreddit r/bridezillas. It's from 1 year ago. And this is called My Future Sister-in-Law is the Reason I'm Canceling My Wedding and instead doing a destination wedding. So it starts off as, hi, I'm using a fake account because several of my in-laws are aware of my other account.
That's spies.
Yep. So I am female 31 and my now husband is male 30, and my sister-in-law is female 19. My husband does not have, do you see the age difference there? Yeah. My husband does not have the best relationship with his sister due to his parents favoring her. And mother-in-law and father-in-law are both 59. A little background, my husband's parents were having marital issues and heading for a divorce around the time my husband's sister was conceived. It's funny how they were having marital problems, but they were still, doing it. So, I don't know. It's angry sex. Okay. When they found out that they were pregnant, they decided to seek counseling and get help. And in the end, they resolved their problems and the relationship became stronger. They view their daughter as the reason they were able to save their marriage. She is spoiled. Some examples. They got her a car for her birthday. She totaled it in 4 days. She borrowed her mom's car after and had totaled it too. Due to her reckless driving, the insurance company will not allow her to be insured under her parents. Mm-hmm. We were dating at the time when his mother asked my husband if he could please put her on his insurance and she would pay. My husband at the time was buying a new car and didn't want to deal with this situation and told his mother no. Another example was we had gotten tickets to see Taylor Swift in Europe for a vacation alone. No. His sister found out and demanded that she go instead of me. His father called and demanded that we change our plans and he takes his sister. My husband said he could not do that because he didn't pay for the vacation or the tickets. My parents did. We were harassed for a month for this. Finally, 3 months after we were engaged, we visited his parents. At the time, his sister had a friend living with her and her parents. And they were 17. This friend developed a crush on my husband. He was extremely uncomfortable with the girl's attention toward him. His sister wanted them to date and asked his parents to talk to him about it. He refused and said he was engaged and is not interested in teen girls. Now to the wedding. Sister-in-law seems like a piece of work. Now to the wedding. My in-laws are only attending if I make my sister-in-law a bridesmaid. I agree to keep the piece and gave it to her as an honorary role and don't expect her to be much involved as the other bridesmaid. The problem started immediately. First, she was flirting with another bridesmaid's boyfriend and sending him inappropriate text. We don't know how she got the number. She refused to walk with her cousin, who is a groomsman, and tried to get her parents involved to switch to walk next to the best man and bump my maid of honor. Her reason was because she couldn't hook up with her cousin. The best man is currently in a long-term relationship with the maid of honor, and they are how we met.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
The final straw was with what she did to my maid of honor. My maid of honor is my cousin and my best friend. My maid of honor is the same age as me. We were born 3 months apart to the day. We get mistaken as sisters, or sometimes our extended family mixes us up. Our mothers are sisters. I am protected of my maid of honor and the godmother to her children. My maid of honor is hard of hearing and has to wear hearing aids due to an infection she had as a child. My maid of honor sometimes talks loud because she can't hear and can't judge her own volume. She doesn't have an accent. She had to do speech therapy for years as a child and had to attend a school for children with hearing disabilities until middle school. My sister-in-law has been teasing my maid of honor nonstop, yelling and saying, I just wanted to make sure she heard me. She made references to my godchildren being born out of wedlock and said her boyfriend, the best man and the father of her children, will come to his senses and find a tight woman. My maid of honor has been quiet about all of this because she doesn't want to cause problems for me and my in-laws. I found out because my other bridesmaids told me about this after the bridal shower. At the bridal shower, my husband and myself both were aware and gave our blessing to have his best man propose to my cousin, the maid of honor. It happened and everyone was so excited except my sister-in-law. The final straw was when my maid of honor was heading back to the table. She took out her hearing aids because the music was causing her a headache. The hearing aids were in a glass of water with my sister-in-law laughing. I was done and removed her from the wedding party and disinvited her from the wedding altogether unless she is in therapy. My in-laws were blowing up our phones, say that their daughter was only joking around and that's her sense of humor, and my maid of honor can't take a joke. They said if she cannot come to the wedding, they will not come. This has been going on for months. So a few updates. 24 hours later, from the bridal shower, I called my fiance, my husband, because we were technically legally married. We just didn't have a ceremony yet. This was done earlier in the year for insurance issues. 2, my maid of honor, my cousin, was able to get her hearing aids replaced by her audiologist. She had them insured. My husband covered the deductible, not for his sister's sake, but because he cares for my cousin and is embarrassed. My husband's family is on our side. Apparently, we have been flooded with phone calls and messages of support from his family. The reason why? Because they also have stories of how badly my sister-in-law has acted towards them. So everyone, his in-laws, his family and everything are on his side, just not his actual parents and sister-in-law. So my husband has already said that my family is his, and anyone who mistreats anyone I care about is not his people. We have decided, with the help of our wedding planning, to do a destination wedding, pushing the wedding date back 6 months in Hawaii. We got most of our deposits back. Family is helping with the rest. My husband has called his parents and told them they are not invited, and his sister will not be invited. They are livid and have started, as of an hour ago, going to social media to tell their side of the story. They claim that their daughter was just making jokes and pranks. Nobody has been buying it. They tried to contact my parents, who shut them down immediately. We have other family members who have had hard of hearing or deaf due to a generic condition that runs in the family. Most of the family is hearing, but everyone looks out for the members that are not. They are embarrassed and hung up the phone. This is where we are now and will update things if things change. Some small updates later on. We are not in contact with my husband's parents or sister. We get updates from my husband's aunt, his father's sister. First, my maid of honor's hearing aids are replaced after talking to her and asking what she wants to do. She doesn't want to get involved in a lawsuit or something or anything going forward. So, as long as she is left alone, by my husband's sister. She doesn't want any negative energy in her life. I am going to respect her boundaries on this matter. However, if anything happens, she will file a restraining order against my husband's sister. As for my mother-in-law and father-in-law, as per my husband's aunt, they are in a bind. They came crying to my husband's aunt. Apparently, their insurance company found out that they were letting their daughter drive their cars. Even though they were warned she was not to be insured under their policy, and the insurance company dropped them. We don't know if sister-in-law got into another accident or someone reported this to the insurance company. However, they were sobbing to my husband's aunt. They are struggling to find an insurance policy that they can afford. My husband's aunt was tired of hearing the sob stories and brought up the bridal shower incident and how her own daughter has been bullied by sister-in-law. She was embarrassed for her nephew, my husband. My mother-in-law and father-in-law said that sister-in-law confessed that she was jealous of my maid of honor relationship with the best man. She apparently had a long crush on him and was upset that he was getting engaged to maid of honor. Mother and father-in-law tried to excuse this behavior as a teenage girl acting out. My husband's aunt was having none of it and told them that they ruined their daughter and probably ruined their relationship with my husband and any future with us. My husband's aunt asked them to leave and said she hopes they get everything they deserve for how they treat their children. She was not going to help them with their insurance problems. My husband's cousin, 20 years old and a lovely girl, she is a beauty queen and a makeup artist. My husband's sister was known for breaking her makeup palettes and beauty supplies out of jealousy. My husband's aunt doesn't allow my sister-in-law over to their house and will lock the doors to certain rooms in their house during family gatherings because of several incidents in the past. Now for sister-in-law. She lives with my in-laws. She lost her job. Nobody knows why. And frankly, I don't care to know. She is not in college due to poor grades and lack of direction. She blames me for her family not talking to her and being kicked out of the wedding party. And I'm proud I did so. She did so she can blame me as much as she likes. As for our wedding celebration, we are doing a small ceremony on the beach, and any family that wishes to come can book a hotel on the main island. We are not going to give the location of the wedding or the reception until the day of the wedding, except for the wedding party, and we will hire security. We will update you when it happens or anything else happens. So last update, very small. We are married, and it was a beautiful wedding and peaceful celebration. My in-laws were not there, or my now sister-in-law. The reason is my sister-in-law is in jail. Apparently, she was stalking her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend and harassing her. It came to a head last month when she purposely crashed her father's car into her ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend's parked car. She also made a video showing what she was doing and shared it to friends and family. Well, it was used as evidence in the trial. My husband's parents are emotionally and financially drained. They had a failed GoFundMe for their daughter legal expenses, and it caused the entire family to cut them off. And good news, I am pregnant with twins. I found out a week before the wedding, and I asked my cousin to be my godmothers for my twins, and she accepted. So, happy note on that end. And sister-in-law will hopefully learn her lesson, and she will receive the consequences for her actions.
Yeah, his parents are messed up.
Well, and the parents. The parents are the ones that messed her up. So they spoiled her to no end, and they have never shown her any repercussions for the severe actions that she has taken that they have all said are normal. Like, they are also delusional. Like, this is like some kind of delusional episode we're having tonight, because these people are all crazy for thinking this is normal. So, top comment for that one. This is crazy. I'm still not understanding how ruining expensive medical equipment is just someone's sense of humor. So, sorry you're dealing with this. Underneath that, someone said, she's lucky that the maid of honor is apparently too gentle to sue them for the cost of the hearing aids. The last time I looked at the price of the things for my dad, cheaper ones, were about $3,000 before insurance, and that was the mid-2010s. I've seen cheaper used cars. And they said Dad would have gone through the VA to get hearing aids also paid for, and so he doesn't want to do that, and as being in the Army in the days before required ear protection tells you why he needs them. That part doesn't really go with anything with the story, but that's just how people on Reddit talk. Yeah, I would definitely say that, at least in the end, like, okay, no offense, but when people go like crazy like this, some people that there's nothing wrong with them. You can't say anything, you can't excuse any mental disabilities, anything on them for them to act this way. They have just never been raised to what is right and wrong. And because of that, I mean, she's in jail, and I'm hoping jail time kind of whips her into shape, kind of scares her. Hopefully. Sometimes I feel like people that run on the streets like that, they're just nonsense. Sometimes I do think they need to spend some time in jail just to scare them. I don't know. We can't have people like that on the street. She's like just going out and wrecking cars just to do it. Like, what sane person would ever think of doing that? Apparently her. But yeah. So those are my stories for the day, guys. Those are my stories. Those were, like I said, entitled, delusional, crazy, outrageous people that just somehow carry out their lives in our world somehow. I'm glad I don't really have to run into... No, I'm not kind of. I'm glad I don't have to run into these kind of people. So I'm glad I can just read about them. Yeah. No. So what did you think of those stories?
I don't think they were bad. I thought they were...
Were they entertaining? Were you entertained?
Yes.
Are you not
I
entertained?
just wish the sister-in-law would have gotten a fight with one of the cousins and got beaten up. That'd been better.
Well,
Needs to be some action.
I mean, I don't think anyone wanted to fight them just because for that reason, like, we were just...
No, even like her family.
I know there was already enough drama going on.
You messed up all the beauty stuff. Hey, you, daughter, go kick her in the face.
Well, I will say, the sister-in-law needed to be stopped long before all of this happened.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even when they're younger, hey, just kick her in the face. Just do it one
She's
time.
19 now when the story was happening, and she's done all these things. People, like, everyone in the family is on OP and her husband's side because of all the things they've had to deal with the sister-in-law. And I'm like, and we're still dealing with this. Why? Well, obviously because her parents are complete pushovers and spoil her and have showing her no repercussions of anything, like, literally. But still, it's like, they should have cut the family off long before, and said, if your daughter does not show changes in her behavior, then we're not going to be around you. That's literally how it should have been. You should have not just said, oh, they're not allowed at our house and we got to lock the doors for family gatherings. No, you just need to not invite them anymore and just say, hey, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work if you're going to keep behaving this way. Mm-hmm. So, nope. Yeah. I'm sorry, put your family in check. Really. Like, I know sometimes it's none of their business, but when it's also involving yourself and you're getting, like, treated badly because of them, then yeah, that's when you gotta get involved. So, just shows you how lovely family is. So, as we get closer to the Thanksgiving, we're gonna have some wonderful stories of families gathering and getting together, and maybe some awkwardness if there are families that don't get together very often for certain reasons. So things could blow up. It happens every once in a while. Kaboom. Different, just point of views. People don't, believing in the same things or they don't agree with the same, things. And somehow they'll still bring that out to light instead of just pushing off to the side for one day to have Thanksgiving. We are all thankful for family. We may not like them, but we still love them because they're family. Okay, guys. That is it for the day. As we keep going forward, if you have any of your own stories that you'd like to share with us, our email address, the Reddit Randos @gmail.com. Go ahead and share them to us. You can also subscribe, rate us. I mean, if you would like, I would love you to. Please do. Please do. Mm-hmm. Yes, do. Do it, actually.
Send us stories.
Keep liking, subscribing, and rating us so that way you can keep coming back. We can keep notifying you with new stories. We'll have them every week. So enjoy these, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. So,
bye.
Bye.